millions of people across the country this weekend protested against the idea of there being a king in the United States. If you remember, there was a little soiree in Boston Harbor many years ago where they dumped tea into the into the water off of ships, celebrating this very idea of no kings in the United States. Donald Trump came out and said, "Hey, look, I'm not a king, but I do want an Arc de Trump." He wants to build a big Arc de Trump somewhere in a circle near a large bridge going into Virginia. And then he created this AI video of him flying with a crown on, flying a jet fighter and dumping literal crap on all the protesters. Now he got mocked for, releasing his shit demon that looks like something out of a Jay and Silent Bob movie. Yes, I am referring to Dogma. Look it up, where they did actually have a shit demon. But I want to talk about the real fallout. And Mark, we were talking beforehand. There were millions who participated in this. We were told it was a hate America tour by the far right. Didn't seem to be that at all. We were told it was going to be violent, and it's another reason why Donald Trump wants to deploy the National Guard to war-torn San Francisco, using all of this as an impetus for going in. But there was very little violence, and I compared to what I saw on January 6th, which was billed as a peaceful protest, and I was there on the Capitol when it was not a peaceful protest, anything but a peaceful protest. I don't know how you compare the two. 200 and some odd, or was it 300 and some odd occurrences of these protests all across the country, mostly peaceful, peace and love. We were also told it was just a bunch of old aging hippies, but that wasn't the case either. So we'll start with you, Mark. Where are we with no kings?
Going into it, I thought it was, when you watch so many of the Republicans, especially the political officials, but even those who were commentators on some of the major networks, this notion of this is the hate America parade, that there's going to be Hamas terrorists that are part of this. They did everything they could to disgrace everyone who would be participating in this. But then the better commentators, the less political ones, were like, "Oh, but we're not saying that you don't have the right to do it." But I mean, it was really disgraceful the way this was being characterized, because apparently they're just really concerned about it. But the reality is, nothing really happened. You said millions of people across the United States protested, and there were just a handful of problematic incidents, some of which were the other side attacking the protesters. It wasn't the protesters. In Georgia, a guy grabbed a protester's flag and threw the protester to the ground. And there were concerns about people coming in who were agitators, just like what we saw in the pro-Hamas protests in New York in particular, that some of these people were professional agitators on the Hamas side, which would throw things off. I guess the two things that come out of this are, is anything going to matter from these no kings protests? Probably not. I mean, I don't do the protests. I contribute in other ways against authoritarian regimes, no matter who it is. And I'm all for them protesting. But, I don't know if it's going to make a difference, especially to this type of administration. But keep it coming. But the ridicule by the Republicans and the notion of the one video AI that you mentioned about Trump, but there was another image that he sent out with him and Vance wearing crowns and Jeffries and Schumer wearing, Mexican hats.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called. I just forgot the name of it. Sombreros. Thank you. And again, we just go back to the juvenilistic unprofessionalism of these folks. But it was a huge success, and maybe it's going to start changing the views of the folks like me, in the sense of the moderate independents, but those who voted for Trump. Maybe at some point in time, those folks are going to get it, that what they voted for is not what they wanted. But I guess all in all, I would say they probably saw this protest as a success, and I would envision more to come.